guys, what's up? It's your favorite girlfriends from My Girlfriend's Guide. My name is Cece.
I'm Key.
And I'm Ty.
And today we're going to talk about keeping up with your exes.
Absolutely not.
I've been known to keep up with a couple of them.
A couple of
I mean, it just depends. It depends on the situation, how we broke up, you know, whether we cool with the parents and the family members, and it's just a lot that. Now, some of them, no, I don't talk, don't look my way, I don't know you, you don't know me, it didn't happen.
Right.
It didn't happen.
She's like, no.
But there's one or two
Okay.
that we
You
communicate.
keep up with one or two?
I wouldn't even say keep up.
Oh,
Okay.
I would just say, no, I don't like the way it sounds. I think, you know, we converse,
Okay.
and he's well, I'm well, and
Y'all
we're
well.
apart.
I'm cool with that. I don't keep up with exes at all. I mean, I've reached out, you know, certain circumstances that occur, but I don't like keeping up with exes because the breakups for me are usually like heartbreaking to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I take everything personal, so it's like I give my all, and then if they make me feel like, you know, my all wasn't enough, I don't want you in my life at all. Period. It's just like one of those, like, cause you hurt me. You hurt me. You know what I'm saying?
You hurt babe.
But hurt babe. Yeah, hashtag hurt babe. But you got to think about, you know, some people don't even know what an ex is. You know what I'm saying? So it's sometimes people put relationships on situationships, and so that's not your ex. And so, you know, I've had that. I've had a situationship, and I can keep up with that situationship, but relationship, I haven't kept up with it. You get what I'm saying? So, that's just how I feel about it.
See, sometimes situationships can be a little deeper than a relationship.
Right.
Sometimes.
100%.
So how is it that you're able to differentiate the two? How is it that you're able to separate a situationship from a relationship in terms of keeping in contact?
Well, the relationship, I gave my all. The situationship, it was a situation. It was
so you understood from
this
is
what we're doing, and that's okay. So my feelings aren't gonna get hurt.
So are you saying that you have not given your all in a situationship?
No, because if I meet someone and, you know, we're understanding of what we're doing, I'm not putting my all into it. Like I'm saying, my heart, my feelings. Like I will date you, we can hang out and stuff like that, but I draw a line because I don't feel like you're gonna ever be serious with me because you came in saying, oh, you know, this is what we're doing. You get what I'm saying? Like I'll give an example. 4 years ago, I met this guy, and he told me straight up, like, hey, I just got out of a long relationship. You know, I don't want anything serious. Let's just date. And me being, at the time, I think I was in the same situation as him. Had just got out of a long relationship, and I didn't want anything serious. And we had an understanding. Well, here's the problem with the situationship that we agreed on. Within 6 months, he started catching feelings. So he was like, who, what, when, where, why? Like, where you at? Who you with?
Oh, so he caught the feelings.
Yeah, he caught feelings quick. Because, and the reason why I didn't catch feelings is because you told me, like, I fall hard. So for me, mentally, I have to tell myself, listen, it's not going to be anything more than this. And that it protects me. You know what I'm saying? So when he failed and he was like asking a lot of questions, I went into like nonchalant, like, okay, so I thought we were just dating.
Right.
You know, we're getting to know each other, hanging out, having fun. You can't do this. He was like, well, that's insensitive. I said, well, you made the rules. See, I didn't come in and say that because I know guys fall for me.
Right.
Like, I know they're going to be like, oh, that's babe. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't make that rule. But he made it. And I think sometimes guys have to be careful what they say because you don't know the ability the woman will have, you know what I'm saying, over you. Some women will surprise you.
That was a two can play that game. That you play chess and not checkers with.
Well, exactly. And so, you know, he basically confessed, like, listen, I just want to be with you, you know, and all that. And I told him it's going to take me time because at this point my feelings are shut off because I didn't want to get hurt. Because it could have been me that fell for him first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I didn't want that to happen. Like, I've always had the defense mechanism where I try to, you know, be real about the situation and not get caught up to the point where I'm calling one of y'all crying. Like, Ty, Key, we need to pull up, or he hurt me, or he did this.
I'm coming to pick you up.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah, that's the difference for me with the situationship and the relationship. I can hold back my feelings. I can hold my feelings back in situationships if I know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And in a relationship, you know, I give my all because we're doing this. Like, we're going all in. You know, and then you play me, and it's kind of like we done.
So you had no type, like you didn't fall at all
For him,
for
no.
the situation.
I did not. I did not fall.
Oh, you better than me.
Well, I would say, you know, our girl Cece. Ooh, our girl Cece. She has these rare cases. But I would say for the majority of probably the women and my girlfriends out there, we're giving our all in situationships. We're probably giving our all, and we're probably not even realizing that they're situationships until we get out of them.
That's true.
And then we're like, oh, he's not my boyfriend. Okay,
Right.
well, but I would have to agree to disagree. Basically, I don't agree. That was just a cute way to say that. I don't agree as far as like you're not giving your all in situationships.
Gotcha.
Because when you're in a relationship with someone, whether you're boyfriend and girlfriend, husband and wife, y'all just creeping around. Situationships, because I mean situationships. I mean, let's
It's a
Right.
long-
you know that's
it's a
I mean
ride.
exactly what a
Yeah, it's
situationship would be.
real
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I was in relations. Okay, we gonna go Bill Clinton. Yeah, you had relations with that man.
Relations.
Okay, you have relations, so you're in a relationship with someone.
Right.
But as far as keeping up with my ex relationships,
That's right.
I normally do not like to, because much like, yeah, I'm crazy, and our relationships end crazy most of the time. Yeah, it's not gonna be too much of a like, oh, okay, so yeah, we had a fair run. All right, see you. I'll see you around.
See ya.
It's like, oh, your mama is. Oh, yeah, I mean, cause we call them. I mean, we still hitting below the belt. I mean, it's crying involved and all this stuff. So, you know, being friends with, you know, with an ex, it's like, why are you still in my DM?
Right.
We broke up.
Yeah.
You know.
I gave you walking papers.
Shout out to all of my exes who still watch my stories. I see you. But to me, I just don't. To me, it just doesn't make sense. So say, hey, it's like you said, you're keeping up. You can keep up with me,
But I'm not keeping up with
but
you.
listen, I like Cece. I gave my all. I loved you. I gave you
The best
everything.
parts of me.
I gave you the best parts of me. So now you want me to keep up with you by watching your stories and texting you on your birthday and saying happy Thanksgiving and how's your mama doing and just say dinner.
It's not.
No, to me, I just because I love hard, I just have to cut off all ties.
Exactly.
Unless, you know, there is the relationship, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And now you've healed from that.
Right.
But as far as keeping up with an ex, to me, you know, if you have kept up with them, then you've healed from it.
That's true.
But,
yes.
you know, I guess I ain't healed from it because I don't want to keep up with you.
So the two relationships ex relationships that I was in, they didn't end on bad terms. So it didn't end on me hating you. I don't want to have anything to do with you.
Right.
One of them ended with distance. He moved away. Another ended on just both of us understanding that we were in different places. He had kids and didn't want more. And I wanted kids.
Deal breaker.
So that's a deal breaker for me. So, but he's an amazing person. He's a great father. He's a great man. But that's just not going to work for me. So with that being said, like he'll call, he'll text. Now it's not an everyday situation. Like don't call me. I don't want no good morning text. Don't send me good nights. Not no like what you doing. Like
Right.
it's rare that we talk, but there's no animosity. There's no beef to where he feels like, oh, I can't hit her up to see how she's doing. Like if he calls or if he texts, I'll respond or I'll answer the phone, but I'm not going to see you.
Right.
You live within 15 minutes of me. I'm not coming to your house. You're not coming to my house. I'm good. Like, hey, what's up? Oh yeah, I'm good. Okay, it was good hearing from you. And that's the end of it. It's nothing elaborate because I think it gets real complicated when you get too comfortable
That's true.
with your exes.
That's true. Girl,
It get real complicated, and then I think lines get crossed because there is that sense of comfort, and you feel like
History.
whether you don't want to add no more numbers to your account or whether you don't, whether you're super comfortable, and it's like, oh well, he didn't really do that much to me to make you start making excuses
Yes.
as to why you should give him another chance, and you just forget all the other
It
stuff.
wasn't that bad and
Right.
this and this.
And then,
But it was.
and then you hit the why did I get married thing. Just weigh out the options, the good versus the bad. Just
I'm
write
gonna tell
it
you,
down.
I was just, do y'all watch Friends?
I love Friends.
Okay.
Yes.
I watched Friends. She and her boyfriend decided to move in with each other.
I remember that episode.
Right?
Yes.
So they're like, let's move So she goes to the coffee house and she tells Monica Chandler, you know what I'm saying, tell everybody, right? She's like, y'all, me and I can't remember his name, David or whatever. We're gonna move in together. And they was like, what? So they was like, what? We hear, a wedding bells. And she was like, you know, Phoebe's like character is like a little like, wait, I don't get it, you know, kind of dizzy. But basically, she was like, no, we just moving in together. So then one of the guys was like, Phoebe, would you ever want to get married? And she was like, I don't know, I never really thought about it. And the boyfriend walked up and was like, what y'all talking about? You know, kind of thing. And she was like, oh, they just was making a joke, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, because we moved together, like, we gotta be getting married tomorrow, you know, kind of thing. And he was like, you know, I'm a divorcee. I don't want to ever get married again. Oh, wow. So he's like, this isn't a deal breaker, right? And she was like, no, I don't think so. So it ended up coming back to where it was a deal breaker, and they decided to let go because it was like, okay, you want something that I don't want. You know what I mean? And it ended up being where she was like, I don't want to talk to him anymore. So she's telling Monica like, please don't let me call him. Ended up being to where she ended up calling him like from like a speaker, and they ended up get like seeing each other again. You know, just for them to be like, well, is it that bad? But he's like, I'm not going to get married, and she's like, well, I don't know if I do not want to get married. So it's, the relationship obviously it didn't make sense because they don't want the same things. But what ended up happening is you end up compromising and lowering your standards. Preach, Keandra. Lowering your standards, you know, just for company. You know, or because you missed them, or you know what I'm saying, all these things. But it's ultimately it's like, I don't want these things. I do think in turn that you can separate from a person and say, you know what, that stuff is not important, and just end up compromise because you love that person. And I think that one time apart, that I think that's, you know, you can come together and be like, you know, babe, if you want to get married, I don't think it's such a big deal. But as far as making a decision like that right away, well, in turn, is talking about keeping up with your exes, I feel like when you break up with someone, you have to have time apart. You got to be able to figure out, why did I really like them? Or, you know, do I miss them? Or, you know what I'm saying, was that so bad? Or, you know what I mean? You got to be able to have time apart. So as far as if you keeping up with your ex and y'all have time apart, like years, I think that I'm more open to that.
And see, well, it wasn't years with those two. One was distance and one was with the no kids. But for me, we did have time apart. Like, so I was hurt in both situations. But hurt on different levels. Like, not hurt on a disrespectful, like, it was no type, like, anything. Well, the one with no kids, I felt like it was wasted time. Because I put it out there in the beginning, and it was like, okay, 2 years in, now you don't want kids. So it was, so it
that
took me.
hurt my feelings. How can you still be friends with someone like that, Ty? Help us. Seriously. That would hurt me.
It's a lot of maturity. Because I didn't talk to him for maybe 8 or 9 months. Like, no contact whatsoever. At all. And it took him coming to me and apologizing. And it was a constant, like, reaching out and me ignoring, because I wasn't healed from the situation. I was like, wait a minute, no, like, we were a lot different in age also. But I'll say that I put it out there in the beginning. I made it clear, like, this is what I want. And he's like, okay, cool. Like, I'll definitely want 1 or 2 more. And in the 2 years, that changed.
So you guys dated for 2 years.
And he told you in the beginning, after you put it out there, that he was okay with it, he could make it happen. And then it changed. Yeah, you wasted my time.
And then he got a girlfriend after me, and she got pregnant. And so
I could definitely not be talking to him, girl.
But that's what I'm saying. So it takes a lot of maturity, because after that,
I need to grow up.
You're very hurt. But you sit back and you learn people, and you like, okay, you know what? Maybe God didn't let me have this man baby for a reason.
Yeah, that's true.
And when you see how things play out, you be like, okay, you know what? That was my blessing. But because I cared so much about him and I saw how he was hurt, I think that gave me sympathy for him. So it's not like a pity party or anything like that, but I know he's a great person. I know he's a great father. And in a point where he had nobody to talk to or nobody who understood where he was coming from, he had me.
So let me ask y'all a question on this topic. I know. She's adorable.
Sometimes.
Honestly, I can relate, but I think the way that you just said it, I'm for the first time I can agree with you.
Oh.
You know, not necessarily agree, but when you were talking, I was like, wow, I guess you have done that before.
Yeah.
Become a friend to an ex that really broke your heart in the past. You had to look and see beyond the hurt, and just be like, you know what, I'm gonna be his friend because really, you felt sorry for him because you're like, you know what, you messed up with me.
Yeah,
and it's like you got your karma.
Yeah.
So I didn't even have to I didn't have to do revenge. I didn't have to do anything.
Well, that's a good thing, honestly. Yeah. I agree with that. Like, you don't have to sit back and let them, because I know plenty of people that play.
Oh yeah, let
they
it
got
play
played.
out.
And they
So I guess I have then, you know, kept up with an ex because really you end up just kind of coming back into their lives. And I mean, I don't want guys to watch this and be like, you know,
I got shot.
another reason
Right.
to hate us. You know, to be like, oh, okay, if a girl ended up talking to me after, you know, you feel sorry for her.
No.
But a lot of the times, a good girl, and I can only speak from a good girl standpoint. When you a good girl and you did everything for a man and you did not do him wrong.
What?
You literally have to give that to God.
Yeah.
You got to give it all the way to God, and you got when He comes back in your life, or you know, tries, attempts to. Because listen,
They
it's
always
like I
do.
tell my niece, baby, they always come back.
Always.
Always.
They
Lord, that's
always
a word.
come back. I have never in my life had an ex that did never try to come
Preach.
back. Okay.
Always the one that got away.
Yes.
They oh my
You're
God.
always the one. I
Always
just
the
said
one.
that.
Always
I
the
just
one that
said
got away.
that. I told somebody that because somebody told me that an ex of mine was looking for me. And I told one of my sisters told me that, and I said, wow. And she said, you know, sis, he was just like, man, I had me the perfect girl, and nobody's perfect, but that's, you know, how he described me.
Right.
I had me the perfect girl, like she was this, she was that. Man, I messed up. And my sister said, your fault. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, man, for real, sis, like she the one. Like she the one that
I
got
had
away.
that with people who weren't even exes.
Yeah.
Like we were dating and then they just weren't consistent and they felt like they
course,
stopped coming to practice.
Of course, yes. Because that's what they do.
And then they come
They
back
make
like,
the team and don't come to practice.
I see what I was
have
doing. I
never
should
in
have
my
did
life
this.
had an ex that did not try to come back.
Yeah, they always come back. So
And that's really where you have to just be. This is advice to young
the women.
girls.
Yeah.
You know, I always tell my nieces, you just have to continue to be sweet, because that's what my great aunt and my grandma has always told me. You have to be sweet and you be pure, and you really.
don't change.
It's like Taisha said. You just have to let it play out.
Yeah.
Vengeance is not mine.
It's the
It's the
Lord's.
Lord's.
Not said the Lord.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
I got so much dirt on you. Dudes are dumb. Social security numbers, address,
Yeah.
your mama name, your daddy name. No, crazy. Yeah, go ahead. Put the hashtag crazy next to my name. I know all the stuff though, because when we're in a relationship, you trust me.
right.
You trust
That's
me.
true.
You know, girl, you know everything about you.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody asks you something, you could be like,
Oh, so
you'll just be rolling it off. You'll be like,
If it's yours, yeah.
you know, because that's my man.
Yeah.
You know about him. But you have so much stuff so much dirt that you can have, you know, that you could just really I mean, you could tear this man's life apart and be like, but it's vengeance, not yours.
Right.
So you just have to
I have one more question before we wrap up. When it comes to keeping up with your exes and you know cutting them off, do you cut the family and friends off?
Yes.
I do. I mean, I cut everybody off.
If I break up, we all breaking up.
Right. I cut everybody off, and you know I had to erase everybody in order to erase him.
But they can follow me, but
You know
I
what I'm
ain't
saying?
going to see nobody and call
Yeah, but
nobody.
you know it's when you like you build a relationship. They didn't hurt me.
Yeah.
See, it's easy for me, but my mama, hey Terry. Terry calls and texts exes.
Yeah, she does.
And when you coming to see me? Oh, I'm a cook.
Yeah, that's just sweetness in her. But
That's
I
true.
mean, as far as
But
cutting
it
the
gets
family off,
complicated though. Like, why she calling and texting and inviting him over?
Listen, it's a
Just
very
don't show up. You don't show
listen.
up.
To my family stuff, right?
You be like, I can't make it.
You be like, can I
Who
come
there?
in? Can I come in?
Who there?
I think it is a very, very, very thin line between just disrespect. Actually, let me stop lying. That line is thick as hell, and people cross that mug
That's true.
way
That's true.
too often.
They do.
Okay,
They get comfortable.
I had a situation, you know what I mean, in particular, where I was dating a guy, and his ex was they end up breaking up because the ex got pregnant. You know, like on a break or whatever. I'm not sure.
Oh, so
but I, you know, kind of think, yeah.
D-Wade too.
Yeah, basically. So they broke up. So when I met him, you know, we was dating, you know, for some months, almost like a year. And then all of a sudden, this girl pops out of nowhere and was like, you know, did he tell you that he got a girlfriend and a baby? And I was like, oh wow. So I was really young. So I was like, I couldn't believe it. Like I was like, what? So I'm like, you got a girlfriend and a baby? He was like, no, that's my ex. And he was like, that's not my baby. That's her baby. Like she had that baby on me. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. Long story short, I ended up finding out that the girl was still coming over to the mama house. Like, it's the mama. Yes, the mama.
This mama's powerful.
If y'all didn't hear what Ty said underneath her breath, she said the mama.
The mama's gonna tell you.
So yeah, she would still come over to the house. He spent a lot of time with me. So in turn, like at first when I heard it, I just thinking to myself like, oh my God, like he being with me and the girl at the same time. But this was my mom had to give me this advice, and she was just like, she's sabotaging you, Keandra. Like she's straight sabotaging you. Yeah. Like this boy be over here, I can't get rid of him.
Right.
Okay. Like he be over here all the time. Like if she's over there, I end up finding out that when she would come over, he would leave.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But just can't stand up to his mama. Can't stand up to his mama, and you know, and she got the baby. So you know, she came from a broken home, and just because they broke up, she not gonna turn her back on the only daughter-in-law she ever knew, and she got the baby. So you know what I'm saying? But for me, I mean, it took. Listen, because I know, ladies, it's always easy for us to be like victims. You know, like you did that to me. You know, really, he just couldn't stand up to his mama.
Right.
But she was literally the girl was trying to like complete like sabotage me. So that's
you
why I say
fell for it.
Yeah. So I do say that the line is very thick because you have to be able to stand up and be like, listen, y'all. If you really wanted your mom to be like, no, it's like but with a man, because girls, they be coming all over to the house and you know what I'm saying? Asking nieces like, who he talking to now? Who he talking to now? So you as a man, I guess my just best advice would be like when you're done talking to a girl, when you're done talking to a woman, you have to let your mother know.
Cut her off.
Cut it off.
Cut it off.
Brothers and sisters, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, y'all do what y'all do. But it's the parents, the mother. You have to, because really, you never even really give the new girl a chance.
You don't. No. And it causes issues.
It causes issues.
And it's very unfair to her.
It's not.
It's unfair, and you're not ready for anything with the new girl if you can't tell your parents to let that old girl go, because she's gonna feel like, you know females, you know how we are. We're like, girl, I'm still cool with his mama. No, ain't nobody. You know what I'm saying? Mama still be in my house. That's how women are. We sit there and like, we brag about
That's
it. That's
right. And I'll give my mama, I'll take it off of her a little bit, because I will say that she's only cool with people because I'm still single.
Right.
And ain't nobody else for her.
But I feel like if you brought a guy home, she would definitely cut it off.
Interest in somebody and say, Mom,
she's not gonna disrespect you. I mean, you know, and still invite him over.
That's true.
That's very deep, because moms at the end of the day, the moms that keep stuff near and dear to their heart. When you hurt, they hurt. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same way with if your son or
my mama wasn't forgiving though. My mom was the type of person, because I remember like I've always dated guys older than me. And I remember my mom was out and she saw a guy that I was dating. I don't know what happened because she didn't give me details. But I just know my mama and her stories, they're always acting like she's not going to lie. So it wasn't one of those things where she fabricates and add on. Like, girl, I said such and such. No, when she says, she says it. She came home one day and she was like, girl, I saw such and such out. I was like, yeah, I haven't talked to him today. She was like, oh, yeah, because he was doing his thing. She didn't say what. She said, but I told him in his face, you think you playing my daughter, but you gonna get played. Ooh. And my mama was that type of person. And so, yeah, mama didn't play. So, and I was like, I'm not the baby, but I was her baby. And for her, my mama was so street smart. So it was like, she knew what to tell me and what not to tell me, because she already handled the situation. So I didn't have to handle it. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So she tell people. And so for exes with me, you know, even like back in high school and stuff, there was no ex that could come back around, because she had already told them, like, you know, you ain't, you know what I'm saying? You ain't.
She got already scared of mom.
Yeah, so she told me, like, I'm telling you, my mom would come in and be like, he ain't about nothing.
So you didn't have to worry
In
about
front of
keeping
them.
up with your ex.
Exactly. Yeah, mama was already like, girl,
That's it.
she like, let's go get our nails done. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're done. So yeah, but moms, they do play a major role
Absolutely.
in, you know, relationships and, you know, where they stand or where they could go.
Listen, I don't be giving examples like you. I had a situation. I be talking around. I be like, my friend had a situation.
Right.
I ain't about to be letting y'all live in my business like that. But yeah, I mean, a guy, his mom completely sabotaged the relationship, like to the point to where it was like, he always denied it, but she had complete, like her hands was in the relationship. From jump, and for me, I lost my mom. So in the beginning, I was more like, she was more like, oh, like, you know, like, oh, I'm your mom and all this stuff, right? And now I know, like, when I hear stuff like that, I'd be like,
right.
But, you know, that was right after, so I was more like, okay, she was being so sweet to me. She like, you called me and stuff and all that, you know. And we talk about him, and it was good, you know what I'm saying? The moment that we were having issues, you know, he told his side of the story, and I told my sister's side, and we ended up breaking up. When we got back together, my sister accepted him, but his mother, it's like his mom, like when we broke up, when we got back together, she was still broken up with him. Like she never got over it.
Right.
And we ended up taking the relationship to another level and doing all this stuff, and like a year later, it ended. I know, because she never got back with me when he got back with me. You know what I mean? And you have to be mature enough to, I think, to be able to, and not to the mothers, because I'm not a mom, so I ain't speak to the moms, but you gotta be able to know what you can tell your mom and what you can't. I had a relationship with my mom where I could tell her everything, and she wouldn't be so judgy. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like what you were saying, like, no, my mom, she was more like the, you know what I'm saying, the guy's mom, like, no, like, she, whatever he told her, you know, because they always make you out to be the bad one. She could never take it back. You know what I'm saying? My mom, I know I can tell her stuff. Now I have sisters where I cannot. I know that who I could tell to and who I can't. But you have to be mature enough. Because you'll forgive them and they won't. Yes, you have to be mature enough to know who you can tell and who you can't. And even though it's your mom, some people, if you have a mom like that, I think you just have to be wise enough to know, especially when it's we breaking up, we ain't never getting back together. You end up getting back with the girl, you end up getting back with the guy, and the mom is still like, you know what I'm saying, they moved on and crossed you out. Right. You have to use wisdom to know.
And I'm that friend where if you telling me all these over and over that you don't tell me.
Don't tell,
don't tell me.
But you know yourself.
I don't want to be mad at him when he's coming around.
You'll probably be a mother like that as well.
Exactly.
You'll probably be the same way, to be like, you know, telling your daughter, telling your son, don't come up in here.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I never told my mom stuff like that, only because, like, my mom always told me, and I tell y'all this, either you shut up and you stay, or you deal with it and leave. And so that was our dynamic. So mama said, you know, baby, listen, I'm gonna tell you like this, you know, and she told me that, and what she meant was, you keep talking about it, but you're gonna be with them. If you're gonna talk about it, leave them alone and come talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So that right there, it was never a, mama, he did this and I get back with him. It was like done, because I already knew she was gonna be like,
she ain't with it.
you can talk to me about it, you know what I'm saying, but don't go back. If you're gonna go back, shit the hell up. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't talk about it. And I appreciate that, because it helped me now. You know what I'm saying? I just be like, all right, you know, so I analyze the situation.
In turn, you really listening to that. You do that with your friends as well.
I do.
You don't, if you're not talking about it, if you think you're gonna go back.
Exactly.
You're not giving too much.
I'm not gonna do that. Yes, yeah. You know what? Sip.
I got real quiet.
Yeah, but that's just how I am. So yeah, I either, you know, shut up and stay, or talk about it and leave. Yeah. So if I ever talk about it to y'all, I'm leaving. Guys, we would love to hear from y'all. Are y'all keeping up with y'all exes?
Are y'all telling y'all mamas everything? Sorry, that was that's what I was at.
Are y'all keeping up with y'all exes? And
tell the truth.
Don't lie.
Don't tell us what sound.
We just bared our souls.
We just left our souls on the White Couch.
You know what I'm saying? So let us know how y'all feel about keeping up with your exes. this? Do you cut the family off? Do you stay cool with the friends? Like, what do you do? Y'all hit us up, onegirlfriendsguide@gmail.com. Follow our
Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, My Girlfriend's Guide, YouTube. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and let us know how we're doing. Check out the podcast on Apple iTunes. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Bye, guys.
How come my ex-boyfriend be my next boy?